Life often feels overwhelming. We tell ourselves we need more money, more resources, more time, before we can even begin. But here's the truth. Greatness begins exactly where you are. Today's story is built around one of the most powerful motivational quotes of all time. Do what you can with what you have, where you are. Stay with me until the end, because this story might be the spark you've been waiting for. David was 27, living in a small town that barely appeared on maps. He worked long shifts at a mechanic's shop. His hands were stained with grease, his body was tired, and his spirit was quietly restless. Every night after work, he scrolled on his phone, watching entrepreneurs, athletes, and artists achieve greatness. And every night he told himself, one day, when I move to a bigger city, when I have better tools, when I meet the right people, then I'll chase my dream. But days turned into months, months into years, and the perfect time never came. One evening, David sat on the porch with his grandfather, a man who had lived through wars, droughts, and struggles most of us can't imagine. The old man asked, "What's keeping you awake at night?" David sighed. "I want to create something meaningful, but I don't have the money, the tools, or the opportunities. Everything I need is out of reach." His grandfather leaned in and said a line that would change David's life. Do what you can with what you have, where you are. At first, David brushed it off, but that night lying in bed, the words refused to leave his mind. The next morning, he walked into the small shed behind his house. It was cluttered with spare parts, broken machines, rusted tools. Normally, he saw junk, but this time, he saw possibility. What if I start with what I already have, he thought. He gathered old parts and built a hand-cranked water pump. Simple but powerful, he gave it to a neighbor whose well had dried out. She cried with gratitude. Word spread. People in town came to him, not because he was rich, not because he was famous, but because he was resourceful. David realized something. He didn't need a perfect time or place. He just needed to begin. Every day after finishing his job at the garage, David spent a few hours in his shed. He started recording short videos of his process. Nothing fancy, just his phone, his shed, and his determination. At first, a few people watched, but soon, hundreds, then thousands. People from across the world admired his ability to innovate with almost nothing. Messages flooded in. This is genius. You inspire me to start with what I have. Within a year, his little workshop grew into a small business. Within 3 years, he had millions of followers who saw him as a symbol of creativity and perseverance. David often credited his success to that one line from his grandfather. Do what you can with what you have, where you are. This isn't about lowering your standards. It's about unlocking your potential right now. Waiting for perfect conditions is the fastest way to kill a dream. Progress, even small, creates momentum. Think of a seed. It doesn't wait for perfect soil or flawless weather. It grows where it's planted, and in time, it can become a tree strong enough to shelter generations. Now let me ask you, what dream have you been postponing? What are you waiting for? More money, more confidence, the right moment? The truth is, you don't need to wait. You can practice your speech in front of a mirror. You can start writing that book with just a pen and paper. You can record your music on your phone. You can start small, today, right where you are. Because momentum comes from action, not from waiting. David's story isn't powerful because he had special gifts. It's powerful because he chose not to wait. And so can you. When life feels heavy, when your goals seem far away, remember this. Do what you can with what you have, where you are. That one choice could be the first step toward a life you never imagined possible. If this story inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs the reminder. And if you want more powerful stories like this one, hit subscribe and join us on this journey toward wisdom, purpose, and prosperity.